used it for my mountain bikes and my towny bikes and chains. And, I'm imagining, so back in the day, old school garage doors, we've got springs up there, and the really old school guys would actually use like old motor oil to lubricate those springs. But we're also in shop spaces, we're in garages, which can be really dusty. And if there's any kind of wood shop going on, that just gloms up into these high build lithium and oils. And what I've seen in the field and what I'm hearing is that this GetSome 1000 is not doing that. It's just going to play really clean and keep the moving parts moving well, but not attract a bunch of the goop that can happen.
Welcome to the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and I'm excited to have you join me as I interview community members and business leaders from the communities in which I live, work, and serve through my business, Kooler Garage Doors. We're going to bring you highlights on characters in our communities. Why? Because community matters, and I want to know more about who is behind our business and leadership in order to understand and support the community fabric that our relationships make up. And collectively, we can build stronger communities that support our lifestyles, our youth, and our health.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Kuehlhorn. Today, I'm so excited for this conversation. We have Shannon Hutto, president of GetSome Products. Now, this is unique in the sense that Shannon lives down in Florida, but I wanted to bring him on because we use this garage door lubricant all the time, and it's pretty unique along with Shannon's story. Shannon, how are you?
I'm doing outstanding, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thanks so much for your time today. I've already enjoyed our first few minutes of conversation. Where did you grow up, my friend?
Born and raised in Orlando, Florida. It's a little small town outside of Disney down here. And I was raised, in a great household. I was involved in sports and such, and grew up playing football, and went to college playing football in that old town in Alabama, and got my commission in the Army, and did 9 years there. And then got out and got into real estate, just involved in that, and in Florida and Georgia. I'm a licensed broker, and throughout my life, I worked with my father, who was in manufacturing business. He manufactured lubricants, and then had a product called Super Slick back in the day.
Right on.
It was pretty neat because my father was one of the first guys to private label that for the garage world. And so that's how we got into the garage door business. I've known got yourself all over the country, all over the world. That was called Super Slick, and then he private labeled it, called it High Tech Garage Door Lube. So, I've got a great life. Oldest of two, my brother Shaw's also worked with the company, and then I have my oldest son Shane, who is also working with us. He's third generation. So
this is awesome.
Pretty neat. I'm actually talking to you from the building that my dad built in 1978 in Longwood, Florida, to package and sell the product that we talked about. And now we're back in that business, and started in 2012 with a product called GetSome 1000. And it's just said, hey, as we got it back out there, we reached back out to the garage door world, and they embraced it. And then they started asking us to private label it, and we started doing that too. So, and it's kind of, not to bore you with any intimate details, but that's pretty quick. Been in and out of it for a long time. I tried to.
This is
pull the back end.
This is so good. So family business, all America. Yeah. For sure, and lubrication. Now, I don't remember how I found GetSome. It was probably through just asking our network of other garage door dealers as we were looking for a good lubricant. Right. And the private label was also of interest to us.
Hey everybody, this is Luke from Kooler Garage Doors. Just want to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Sommar Garage Door Openers. In our opinion, Sommars are the highest quality product on the market today. We recommend them for all of our residential garage door installs because of the variety of features they include, such as Wi-Fi connectivity and safety features such as a fixed chain, which moves along a secure rail to ensure your garage door opens quietly and safely. Click on the link in the description to learn more about Sommar garage door openers.
But tell us a little bit about your lubrication and why it's unique for homeowners and businesses.
Sure. Well, I guess it starts with my father, Ernie Hutto, back in early 1970s when I was just a baby. He was always looking for products that could fit a need. You know, as he says a lot, find a need, fill a need. And back then he was looking for a lubricant that he could sell to his customers that was different than what was in the market, like a WD. So he partnered with a guy out of NASA, and they came up with a product called Slick 2000, and then relabeled it called Super Slick, which is what a lot of people know of my father today, which is this product from here. And then as he moved down the road, he got involved with the garage door guys. And as he was going to some of these shows like Dota and stuff back in the day, guys like Flyback, they started those associations, and he came up with a product called High Tech Garage Door Lube, which is basically a private label of the garage door, the Super Slick. And then we moved forward through those years. That technology has changed. The old Super Slick is petrochemical based, and so you have to put things in it to cover the odor, like lanolin and stuff. And so as things have changed, for instance, like in California, not too far from you, they've got Rule 65 on the books out there, which is trying to eliminate all the high VOC products where they don't want anything evaporating into the environment, causing acid rains and stuff like that. So they're trying to eliminate all the old technology, including my dad's old product. So he, again, with the old find a need, fill a need, he says, wow, we need to come up with something that will not only be VOC compliant, but also non-toxic. Because of the big companies out there today, I've realized that it's a liability to not only sell these, but require their employees to use them. And so they want something that they can offer that is not as good or better than the old technology, but meets and exceeds all the new standards. So I developed a product in 2012 called GetSome, and we didn't know what to name it, but it kind of came from my brother and I were going to a trade show, and I'm writing as fast as I can, and I'm just a good old boy. And he was saying, everybody wants something that works and needs something that's good. And I wrote down, want some, need some, and with a question mark. And then I said, how about get some? That's an exclamation. It's a call to action. It says, you want something, get some. Okay, you need something, get some. So we came back and told my dad, and he was like, oh, let's run with it. Damn, it happened. And then we had one of our sales guys call us up one day because we only had the one product, and he says, this stuff does like 1,000 things. I was like, yeah, why don't, because Dad was coming out with our heavy duty version called Extreme. And we said, why don't we just call it GetSome 1000? And the name stuck. And so then we shortened it to GS 1000 for you commercial guys. And so that's kind of the how we got to where we are today.
This is so good. And,
I'm
different. Just reading, I love this because it's registered for food processing areas. It's non-toxic, non-static, non-staining. I mean, I could go on and on. It won't dry out or wash off with water. What is this stuff?
Well, as we like to tell you, it's the 11 herbs and spices. I can't tell you what's in it, but I can tell you what's not in it. So you go here, and what's not in our product is what's in everything else. When you actually develop something that was designed to displace water, which is a WD product, right?
Yeah.
You use products that displace water, kerosene, mineral spirits, things of that nature. Problem is it displaces it, but at the same time, they're what we call hygroscopic. They actually attract moisture as they evaporate. If you left a gas can in your garage, or you've got a boat that sits out all season, and what do you get in the gas tank? You get water. Well, where does that come from? That comes from the product evaporating. And then as it evaporates, it attracts moisture. The unique thing about GetSome is it's non-hygroscopic. It doesn't attract moisture because there's no solvents in it. It is solvent neutral. It is a true lubricant. It's a blend of different types of oils that are all machine oils that are food grade and environmentally friendly, non-toxic. And then we put additives in there like anti-corrosive additive. According to some of our tests, 19 times better than the WD products. We also put an anti-wear additive. That's a big thing too, because you want something that reduces friction, right? I mean, garage door industry, you want stuff that's going to keep it from squeaking and things of that nature. Well, the old technology was PTFE, petrotetrafluoroethylene, right? Which is also known as Teflon. Those are not good for you. And they found that out a long time ago, but they continue to put it in products. That we don't put Teflon in our product either. We have a high pressure anti-friction additive my dad helped develop that is in our product. So you get all the benefits, but you don't have any of the bad from the old ways, the old products. And not to mention, our product doesn't have any odor, which is also unique. My dad's old technology, a lot of them, they had to put a masking agent in the product, like lanolin, which is a derivative of citrus. It smells like citrus. Problem is, it's highly flammable. But then the two, for every person that enjoys the smell of it, there's 10 people that can't stand it. My dad, when he used to make it in the plant, had some of the girls in the office had to leave because it would give them headaches. So we chose not to put that in our product also. Therefore, we're allowed to get the H1 food grade certification. So for yourself, your customers, your employees, it doesn't stink. It doesn't smell. There's no odor. If a dog licks it up, if it gets on them or on their skin, it doesn't hurt them. The other side of it is we also use no plant-based oils. A lot of companies out there moved away from petroleum, but then they just jumped into another whole problem with basing their product in plant-based oils. With those is they go rancid. Rancid oils actually smell, and then they grow microbes, bacteria, and other things, which is a big issue now.
Interesting.
Issue we've done with over the last couple of years. It's some also tested by some of the government facilities that doesn't grow microbes, bacteria, or viruses. So it's another benefit. It's also safe. Some people are allergic to like soybean and soy oils and stuff like that. Our product is also what they call non-halogenic. There's nothing there that will make you break out in rashes and stuff. A lot of big words for big old, but it's good that you guys know what you're getting into. You're using a quality product that works.
Yeah. And it's really important. For customers, for homeowners. What I'm hearing and what I've known why we brought it into our garage door company is because, it really is about the pets, the children, the folks that enjoy that house, and not being just integrate or, abruptly, I don't know what the word is, but the smell is not there, right? Sure. And so it doesn't smell like a chemical factory when we leave a garage kind of deal. We also go into commercial kitchen areas every now and then with garage doors or restaurants. More and more restaurants are putting full view garage doors in it because it's the cool aesthetic, right? And this stuff plays well for those areas. So as far as consumers and business owners and, house owners, it's important to know what trades are bringing in. And there's a number of toxic components out there, and this is not one of them. And I think that's pretty cool. One question I want to ask you, because I'm sure you know this, and I don't know if it's super, super clear yet, but, the use of silicone and silicone sprays. Right. Now, we've been deterred from using those, especially in the garage door world, but why?
Good question. Let's just boil it down to the basic facts. Silicone was never, ever developed to be a lubricant.
Interesting.
Okay. Either was WD. It was never developed to be a lubricant. They're designed to dry things out. Silicone was designed as an encapsulator to encapsulate things to keep them from getting water on, right? Moisture. In that regards, if you're using a hammer to drive in a screw, are you going to get good results? The answer is no. So yes, is it better than spit? Of course it is. But over time, what silicone does is dries out. It collects dirt and dust, and it'll lubricate initially, but it doesn't do what you want it to do in the long term because it's not designed to do what you're using it for. Does that make sense?
It does.
So if you take something like GetSome, it is a true lubricant based with true lubricating oils with an anti-wear additive in it. You're going to get a different result. It's going to last longer because it doesn't evaporate. It's going to hydraulic extremely well because it's very thin, right? You don't need a lot of it. That's the thing a lot of our guys say. And we use this in different industries. I private label this and package it for fishing guys, gun guys, and the fishing reel industry that we sell to guys that manufacture fishing reels. They say, the problem with your product is you don't need to use a lot of it. Just a little bit goes a long way. I was, well, that's benefit to everybody, I'm assuming. So there's the other side of it is just a little bit and let the product do what it's supposed to do. It's a great cleaner too. It'll penetrate 3 microns in the metal for guys that love it for guns, fishing reels. I can go down many different uses, but it's not just for garage doors. So for you,
that's right,
or your customer, it's a great product for stainless steel. Spray it on, wipe it off with a napkin. Keeps the fingerprints from the little crumb snatchers around the house from all over your refrigerator and stuff. So we sell it to big hotel chains for that reason, to wipe down all the bright work and like in their elevators to keep everything nice and pretty. Yeah. So it's got 1,000 uses. So that's the neat.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Why it's different than silicone spray, because it's not only that, is for certain industries, and you just hit it, where you can't walk into an automotive shop or body shop with silicone spray. They'll knock it out of your hand, because that stuff, if it gets into the air and it'll get on the surface of the painted surface and they go to paint over it, it's called fish eye. It'll fish eye the paint. They don't want silicone in the building. So our guys use some on the door, and then they end up giving it or selling it to the automotive shop, and they use it as air tool oil because it's phenomenal for that. We've got a garage door company in South Florida that uses 30 to 40 cases a month of our product to spray in their air tools, because all the humidity we get in the line, and would booger up the air tool, and they got to $3,000-$4,000 and go out and have their air tools serving. That doesn't happen anymore. A little shot to get some in there. I put it on the shelf for 6 months. When they pull that thing down, it's ready to rock and roll. There's hopefully a short answer to your long question, or vice versa.
No, that's perfect, man. And I'm taking notes, because we do some really nice metal overlays, and now I'm like, we're going to use this to clean that metal overlay as we deliver this into the customer's home. I've used it for my mountain bikes and my townie bikes and chains, and I'm imagining, so back in the day, old school garage doors, we've got springs up there, and the really old school guys would actually use like old motor oil to lubricate those springs. But we're also in shop spaces, we're in garages, which can be really dusty, and if there's any kind of wood shop going on, I mean, that just gloms up into these high build lithium and oils. And what I've seen in the field and what I'm hearing is that this GetSome 1000 is not doing that. It's just going to play really clean and keep the moving parts moving well, but not attract a bunch of the goop that can happen.
Right. Yeah. Well, the reason why it is we're all non-static. Product goes on, we recommend in like the door industry to spray a little bit on the hinge, or not the hinge, hinges and locks, but more importantly the spring, just to beat across the top and let it hydraulic all the way around, and it will. I've got springs that I take to the IDA, the Door Association shows, that are 2 and 3 years old, that I can open up, bend, and the product is still in there after been sitting in a box for 2 or 3 years. And because it evaporates very slowly, and then because it's not attracting dirt or dust, it's not gonna. That's what ends up wearing out bearings and stuff like that, is all those impurities that get in there, because they're attracted by the grease. Never grease rollers. I mean, you guys know that. My dad used to say they never grease the train. They don't grease the track. they grease the bearings and the rollers of the wheel. And that's where you can put the lubricant. That's what we recommend. That's why our product has a little straw on it too. Help you get it where it needs to go. We make it in other applications, little needle bottles that we sell to some of the big motorcycle dealers. I can't mention names, but we know who they are. They use them on the old cables for their, then like you do on your bicycle. It's great for them. So,
so good.
It's the thing about it, we take it to shows all the time, and I'll be in the booth. This is a product here. I'll take it straight in my hand. See how clear it is? It's as I show them that, they look at you like you have three eyes when they smell the. And they go, "Wow, why did that stink?" You're like, "No, because it doesn't."
Yeah.
So that's what we love to do with our customers or potential customers. We said we talk about it all day long, but let me get it in your hand. Let me let you try it. And then we have a customer for life. And I'm only can hope that with supporting our door dealers like yourself, that not only she has as a branding tool for you, but you can get this in your customers' hands and give them something that's unique that not only they can use on their door, but they can use around the house. And it's going to do a better job than anything they've got. And so you're providing not only a service, but you're providing them with a product that is far superior than they've seen. And well, I tell you when you give something to somebody that worked, they'll beat a path to your door, and they'll continue to call you. They'll appreciate you taking care of. There's a lot of people out there that use motor oil, for instance. But I used to tell people all the time, if I walked into your office right now, I guarantee you're not using the same computer that you used 30 years ago.
That's right.
And they say, well, why is that? Because technology. It wouldn't even keep up, right? Remember the old dial tone that you used to get? Well, now it's 1,000 megabytes per second. We would never have fathomed that 30 years ago. Well, do you think the difference in the lubrication world has changed? Yes. There's new additives. There's new oils. There's new technology. And that's what we offer. We offer the new latest and greatest. Something that, according to the government, exceeds all the standards for the next 30 years. That's what we want to be in front of. We don't want to be constantly running from the government taking us off the market. It happened to my dad's old farm. So there you go. That's what we offer.
I love that. Yeah.
Love the fact that we partner with guys like Kooler and different industries, and to give them something that's unique. Something to provide and offer to their customers.
Yeah, I really appreciate the education in this. And as we get close to the end of our conversation here, Shannon, you mentioned, staying ahead of the game 30 years. What are we excited about going into the future?
Well, my father is always, and myself too, we hear from you guys out there in the field and asking for, hey, do you have something that does this or that? And if we hear that on an ongoing basis, we are seeking newer products that we can bring to the marketplace that will fill that will exceed the standard of what's out there. And we've got some, been asked to have a product that might be a little thicker, like a chain lubricant. It might, in a high, where you have what they call throw, where you have a chain spinning very fast. And we want something that's going to hold on there. We're working on that as we speak.
Janet, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate this conversation. The education's awesome. And I'm just really glad I've made a connection with you.
Absolutely. Same here, Matt. We look forward to working with you and many others, and we're here for you if you need us. You've got my private cell phone number, and call me if you ever have a problem.
Yeah, and I guess just to sign off, Kooler certainly has this, and if anyone's listening to this and wants to learn even a little bit more, what's the website address for folks to tap into?
Sure, it's GetSome Products, just like the name. GetSome, GetSome Products with an S.com. And if you need to reach out to me, there's a button on there that says contact us. Fill that little form out, comes right to me, and I'll reach back out to you as quick as possible.
Shannon, thank you so much. I appreciate you and what you bring into the world.
Thank you, Matt. It's an honor. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Ditto. We'll talk to you soon.